Welcome to the program, friend. We're going to be talking about the Kavanaugh hearings. This country is coming unglued. God help us. Do we have what it'll take to right the ship of state? I don't know. We're going to try. I'm Randall Terry. This is Voice of Resistance. Welcome to the program, friend. I have been watching this morning the hearings regarding Judge Kavanaugh and Christine Blasey Ford, and I have to film this show earlier in the day, so I do not have the ability to comment on the entire hearing from today. And so I apologize, and I'm letting you know that up front. I'm not going to pretend that, oh, how was your Thanksgiving yesterday, when I, in fact, Thanksgiving wasn't yesterday. That's an insider joke for some of the media deceivers out there. Anyway, I am so appalled, and I mean, words cannot express the contempt and the disgust that I feel for Feinstein and her Democrat grandstanding, God-hating buddies. Now, there's a really critical caveat here. I do not think that Judge Kavanaugh did to her what she is saying. And I could be wrong. And there's a very good chance that we will never know the truth. All right? So if you believe her, I don't fault you. If I believe him, I ask you to not fault me. But I want to set that aside for a minute because there's something bigger that's at play here. Since the other program, a total of 5 allegations have come forward. One is anonymous. One came from a woman who's a stalker, who threatened her former boyfriend, threatened their child, the child of the former boyfriend. In other words, this is a person who's crazy. One is a person who everyone around her is saying, none of us have ever heard of this until this very moment. In other words, the allegations and the accusations get more and more incredible, not believable. And yet, we have Democrat senators with a straight face looking into the camera, knowing full well that on an evidentiary level, that an accusation is not evidence, and that unsubstantiated, uncorroborated accusations are, if nothing more, they're at least a problem. Knowing full well that accusations were made against Kagan and against Sotomayor, crazy things, phone calls, letters that came, not one time were one of those accusations given the light of day in the media or in hearings, and that is as it should be. As much as I despise Kagan and Sotomayor as jurists, loathe them, the rules of evidence, the way things should happen, the reluctance of newspapers and congressmen to publish gossip and rumors is as it should be. Tale-bearing, gossip, repeating slanders, all of these things, they're forbidden in the scriptures, okay? And so as much as I personally protested against Kagan and Sotomayor, we arranged for people to disrupt the hearings. Some of you can't remember that far back. We were on TV like the people who hate Kavanaugh were on TV. But it was not about their personal lives. It was not about rumors. It was not about slander. It was about their policies. Okay? They support the murder of babies. They support homosexual marriage. And so we focused on their policies. The Democrat leaders in the Senate have made clear that they want to do anything in their power to stop Kavanaugh's confirmation because of his policies, but because most Americans agree with his policies, and they can't win on that level. They are resorting to calumny, to unsubstantiated allegations, to anonymous accusations, crazy accusations. So much so now that Judge Kavanaugh is producing calendars from when he was a young man. And it's all, in one level, you look at him and you go, wow, this guy is, what kind of personality type is it that keeps his calendars from when he's a teenager or someone in college? Well, it's somebody who's got a meticulous eye for detail and really was a man on a mission, okay? It would be interesting to find the backstory there. Did he go to some seminar when he was a 16-year-old that said, keep records, show if you're accomplishing your goals? He's a very goal-minded man. So he's now bringing out these things to show that he wasn't even in the state when this accusation or that accusation comes forward, that it's just total lies. But the thing that I'm focusing on, setting aside him and Mrs. Ford, is the malice and the double standard and the hypocrisy and the vitriol, the bitter, bitter hatred that Feinstein and the others have for righteousness. Kill the messenger. This is a man who's a devout Christian. This is a man, by all accounts of people who have known him for decades, that he's just a prince of a man, a good man, a kind man. And yet they will not stop. They will not stop until they have successfully kept him off the court. That's their goal. And if they have to destroy his reputation, promote lies, parrot unsubstantiated allegations and accusations, they'll do it. They don't care. They'll ignore Bill Clinton. They'll ignore Keith Ellison. Make the list. Senator Corker, or whatever his name is, I don't want to mispronounce his name, the guy from New Jersey, the African-American fella who wrote an article about things that he did. They'll ignore all of that because those people are on their team. They believe in the godless agenda that Feinstein and the others believe. And so you have, all right, I've got to take a break. When I come back, I'll quickly go over in case you missed the hearings, but I want to give you at least some backdrop and background so that as you listen to CNN or Fox or CNBC or whoever, you can process what you're hearing with this backdrop. Please don't go. I'll be right back. Warrior guitars. Without question, the best guitar I've ever played, heard, or seen is a Warrior. The owner of Warrior, Jay Dran, has an incredible testimony of redemption and healing. God gave him the vision to start Warrior Guitars and a passion to make the best guitars in the world. They only make about 120 guitars a year, each one by hand. Maybe one of them could be yours, or a once-in-a-lifetime gift for someone you love.
The one thing that I can tell you is this is the most finely crafted guitar I have ever held. I've played a lot of guitars, I own a lot of guitars, and although the quality is exceptional on all of them, this is by far the most finely crafted instrument I own or have ever played. And I'm glad I own it.
Contact my friends at Warrior Guitar. Tell them Randall Terry sent you. Welcome back, friend. All right, so the Republicans have ceded all of their questions and their question time to an attorney who deals with sexual assault cases. The Democrats have not done so. They didn't bring a lawyer on. And the purpose of it was clear. The Republicans want to get to the bottom of the allegations, so they're not grandstanding. They're all giving their moments to this attorney. The Democrats, on the other side, are simply using it to besmirch the character of Judge Kavanaugh and to laud the courage and the bravery and the integrity and the honesty of Ford. Now, herein lies the problem. You're going to be treated tonight or tomorrow to nothing but sound bites. And some of those sound bites are going to be from these senators. These senators, if Ford was not telling the truth, or if Kavanaugh is telling the truth and Ford was more drunk than she lets on, they don't want to exonerate Kavanaugh. They want him off the court. And if sinking his nomination is what they get, they're happy to accuse him falsely. I believe that because they're committed to shedding blood. You have to remember that someone who is prepared to advocate murder, well, that's not a problem to lie and to commit slander and calumny. Do you understand? Their ethical compass is so warped and so distorted. They're so despicable. As human beings, they're despicable that they will not feel ashamed or blush to go after Kavanaugh, even if he is innocent, to the point where they will parrot useless, ludicrous, false accusations. So the problem is they should have let the attorney for the Republicans take an hour. Just talk to her for an hour straight and begin to see the inconsistency and how the story unravels. And then go for an hour and talk. Let the Democrats do all their grandstanding. Instead, this back forth, it's absurd. If you did have a chance to watch the hearings during the day, most people don't have the ability, but if you did, you see how absurd it is to start the clock, stop the clock, start this clock, stop the clock. It's all but useless. But again, I was very happy to see Grassley take Feinstein to task early on. They have to sit right next to each other. But Grassley said, look, we had six or eight times our staff reached out to every accuser's attorney. No one would even return a call. They offered to go out to California and interview this woman. She didn't accept the invitation. They didn't want to meet with her. They didn't want these false accusers that have come forward. And yes, I'm calling them false accusers. They don't want investigators for the Senate to talk to them. They want headlines. They want to win a public smear campaign. That's what they want to do. That's what they're in the middle of doing. All right? Why? In other words, if this crazy woman with the long brown hair who they had to get a restraining order against her, former boyfriend did. If she's getting in the press and then the staff of the Senate are reaching out to her and say, hey, we'll talk to your attorney. Let's get these facts, get you under oath. Nothing. Well, maybe she already has mission accomplished. Maybe the mission was just to get in the newspaper, get her picture there. Because Kavanaugh's calendars show that he wasn't even in the area. And one of Kavanaugh's friends was on TV last night. It was just sweet. But she said, look, we were in high school. When this woman is alleging this horrific crime, we were in high school at a beach with chaperones. Why would a high school kid be involved with some horrific crime with a college student? I don't know. You tell me. It doesn't add up. And Feinstein and company, they held this. They had the ability to go forward with this. They had the ability to go forward with this in July. And they chose to do this circus now because they're trying to derail his nomination so that the next Supreme Court justice is not filled by Trump. Do you understand? That's what they're after. Because what President Trump said last night was that if Kavanaugh goes down in flames, in 1 hour, he will have another nominee to Mitch McConnell in 1 hour. And he wants the vote before November. Because what's happening is the Senate is trying to defeat Kavanaugh, take back the Senate. The Democrats are trying to take back the Senate and then say to Trump, we will not confirm any appointment to the Supreme Court. That's what they're trying to do. Because they've pushed their godless agenda on us with child killing and homosexual marriage through the court. They are happy to live under an oligarchy. They're happy to live under judicial dictatorship. They despise self-government to the level where they will circumvent the Constitution, circumvent the rule of law, circumvent the majority, circumvent the elective process if they can just keep baby killing and homosexual marriage through the courts. That's how much contempt they have for you, the rule of law, and the laws of God. That's what this is all about, friends. That's all that it's about. I'm going to come back and tell you about two people that met with Grassley's staff yesterday. This will put a shudder down your spine. Don't go away. Have Muslim terrorists hijacked the peaceful religion of Islam? Or is there more to the story? The answer lies in the life of one man, Muhammad, the founder of Islam. Muslim terrorists see themselves inside a 1,400-year-old story, a narrative that focuses on specific events in the life of Muhammad. We are going to look at Muhammad's life using their most sacred literature. We will look at Muhammad at the Battle of Badr. We'll see him deal with those who mock him. We'll see the times when he used deception. We'll witness Muhammad's anti-Semitism. And yes, we will discuss Muhammad and his teachings concerning sex, slavery, and jihad. Friend, if you want to understand Islamic terrorism, get this series today. Welcome back, friend. Last night, Senator Grassley's office, and he's the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, Senator Grassley's office released a statement about two men who have come forward and reached out to Senator Grassley and said it's likely that they are the two men involved in the incident that Mrs. Ford is talking about. Now, one would think, why would they do that? They're putting themselves at risk. Well, they're clearly putting themselves at risk for shame, humiliation if their names become public. They also might be just having a conflict of conscience. And for case in point, given the details of what Mrs. Ford is alleging, the statute of limitations for these guys as teenagers would have long ago expired. So they're not going to face any criminal prosecution. Could they face some type of a civil lawsuit? That's possible. Whatever it is, these two men have counted the costs and they've come forward. Is it possible that they're people that want to just take a fall for Kavanaugh? Sure, it's possible. But they're alleging that they were the two guys at the party. Now, because it's the 11th hour with them coming forward, they're not in the hearing today. Will they be heard? Will they be put under oath? Will they release an affidavit? I don't know. We're going to see. But that really throws a monkey wrench into Mrs. Ford's allegations and what the Democrats are trying to do right now to destroy Brett Kavanaugh and to destroy his chance of getting on the Supreme Court. Part of the problem that we're facing, let me kind of come at this from two angles at the same time. We were talking to our kids this morning. How many people after this are going to say, I'll put my hat in the ring for X? Now, the higher up the food chain someone wants to be, the more danger they are in. If you're running for dog catcher, there's not that much chance that you're going to get in a huge spitting match. Public like this, that someone's going to try and destroy your reputation, unless you killed someone's dog. If you're running for a local race, you're not going to be on national TV. There's not going to be unending supplies of Democrat Party money that are being poured in to try and get to sources to confirm, to deny, to create a safety net. All right? I mean, at the level that Mrs. Ford is at, she will never have to teach in college another day in her life if she doesn't want to. Now, I'm just telling you, I'm not saying that this is her motivation, because I don't think it is. But for those who say, oh, her life is ruined, she will be able to command, now it's gone up to probably $12,500 to $15,000 per speaking engagement, maybe higher, all right? Because she's a college professor, PhD, she's probably going to be able to command $20,000 to $25,000 on the college university circuit. There's a circuit of speakers, all right? And colleges have a lot of money that they can pay to speakers, a lot of money. So we paid $25,000 once for a speaker. That was a fundraiser for a political campaign that I was running, and we knew that it was going to have a payoff that was worth the $25,000. And we did it, and it did, in fact, help. So we felt it was worth the investment. So there are people who have this kind of money to spend on speakers, and they're going to do it. So when you hear someone say her life is ruined, well, she's going to have to deal with public outcry against her from people who like Kavanaugh the rest of her life. That is true. But she will be lionized as a hero. And that's a part of what we have to deal with. I've got to take a quick break, but I want to just look, kind of dissect where this puts the country as far as good men and good women running for office. Don't go away, please. What Would Mohammed Do? Islamic Terrorism Explained is the best movie series documentary ever produced on the life of Muhammad and Islam. How do I know? Because it's what critics are saying. John Moore, radio host and author, said, "I learned more from What Would Mohammed Do about Islam and Islamic terrorism than I've learned from everything I ever read and watched in my entire life." Friends, this is what the experts are saying. No one has ever done what we've done. I encourage you to get 1, 2, 4 copies. Call 304-289-3700 or order it at the address or the website that you see on the screen. Friend, we have a series that will help you and those you love to have an impact on this country. It's called Insurrecta Nex. That's Latin for revolution against the killing of innocent people. This is the history, the philosophy, and the theology of social revolution in America. We will send you this 14-part TV series along with these manuals for students, a teacher's facilitator guide for only $40. Go to 304-289-3700, 304-289-3700. Welcome back to the program, friend. There are people all over the country right now, good people, good men and women, people who love God, who love righteousness, who are sinners. And they're saying, I will never run for office. I will never seek to be a federal judge, or I'll never seek to be fill in the blank, because I don't want to put my family through this. I do not want to bring harm on my children. I don't want to bring harm on my spouse. Think of Governor Sarah Palin. She was and is a good woman. She's a good woman. And then when she was running for vice president, and then afterwards, when she was considering running for president, there was salacious things that were starting to come out about her. And that one creepy guy rented a house right next door to them and was just besmirching her character about immorality, okay? Sexual immorality. And there's truth, there's lies, and then there's misstatement of facts. Do you hear me? Think of Potiphar's wife in the Bible, the woman who accused Joseph. Joseph was in the room with her, and she was trying to seduce him, and then he said, no. And then she falsely accused him of raping her, trying to rape her. He went to prison for that, okay? So you have lies, truth, and then mischaracterizations. David really did commit adultery with Bathsheba. He really did have Uriah the Hittite killed by the sword of Israel's enemies. But he was still a man after God's own heart. There are people out there who have done things that they regret, they've repented of, they've been forgiven for, they've gone on with their lives, but they don't want somebody with an axe to grind, a personal vendetta, a political disagreement, somebody who, is a Democrat, a Republican, Democrat, say, I'm just not going to do that. And it's a tragedy for our country, because it is my opinion that people who support the murder of babies and horrific homosexual acts and crazy stuff, that they're more willing, like Keith Ellison, to go forward with their agenda and take it on the chin when accusations come out against them, because they don't know how to blush. They don't know how to be ashamed. Whereas some more righteous people, they're thinking, I don't want to go through this. I don't want to face my friends at church. I'm out of time. I'll talk to you soon. God bless you.